rise up. Kindly keep that in mind. Ushers, just ensure all the graduands are in their places. Thank you very much once more for this opportunity, RMC.
It is indeed my pleasure as well to introduce to you the Principal Public Relations Officer of Makerere University, Ms. Rita Namisango, to have a word for the congregation. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Alan Birabi. Yes, to all our graduates, parents, sponsors, guardians, friends, the media team, and well-wishers of Makerere University. Today marks the 5th session of Makerere University 71st graduation ceremony. This ceremony is being conducted with strict adherence to the COVID-19 guidelines to ensure that we are all safe. That is why we have a few of us gathered today in the Freedom Square, and majority of our graduates are following the graduation virtually, live on UBC Radio 98.0 FM, Makerere platforms. We also thank the Daily Monitor for capturing this graduation ceremony. We thank CBS FM, Radio 1, for the free airtime accorded to us, as well as Soul Media and BBC. Today is a special day for us. We have the graduates of engineering, design, art and technology. We also have graduates from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Let us all rise.
Angelina, wake up, tell one. 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 Tell one. Angelina, wake up, 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 tell one.
Makerere University Contracts Committee for ensuring that we hold a successful ceremony. We thank the Department of the Academic Registrar, Makerere University, for a job well done. We thank the Department of the Vice Chancellor for a job well done. We thank the Public Relations Office for a job well done. We thank the Senate Ceremonies Committee. We are proud of Makerere University Contracts Committee, Makerere University Procurement and Disposal Unit. Right now, this is the Chancellor's procession. We welcome professors, associate professors, assistant lecturers, senior lecturers, all academic staff from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, College of Engineering, Design, Art and Technology, Academic Registrar, Mr. Alfred Masiche Namoa, you're welcome. Professor Winza Mukadas, Director, Research and Graduate Training, you're welcome. The University Bursar, Mr. Everest Bainomgisha Chancellor, you're welcome. The University Librarian, Dr. Helen Yamgisha, you're welcome. The Dean of Students, Ms. Winnie Karubli, you're welcome. University Secretary, Mr. Yusuf Chiranda. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Finance and Administration, Dr. Josephine Nabukenya. Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, Professor Umaru Kakumba. The Vice Chancellor,
Angelina,
Professor
wake up,
Barnabas
tell one.
Nyawangwe. Officials from the
Angelina, wake up,
Ministry of
tell one.
Education and Sports, Mrs. Rona Magara, Chairperson of Council, Chancellor, Makerere University, you're welcome. To all our professors, associate professors, senior lecturers, academic members of staff, please remain standing. Yes, this is the Makerere University 71st graduation ceremony. This is the 5th session where the Chancellor will be conferring degrees and presenting diplomas to graduates from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, College of Engineering, Design, Arts, and Technology. Yes, this occasion is being conducted with strict adherence to the Government of Uganda guidelines to avoid the spread of COVID-19. We would like you to be safe and serve this country. Yes, right now, we have a few of us in the Freedom Square, and we have majority of our graduates, parents, the media team, well-wishers, following us virtually, live on NTV, live on UBC Radio 98.0 FM, and on Makerere University social media pages, as well as Zoom. In a very special way, we thank the New Vision, Daily Monitor, Salt Media, CBS FM, Radio 1 for according us free airtime and covering this occasion prominently. Let us now have the anthems.
You may now be seated. Let's posture ourselves for a very special pronouncement by our distinguished Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, sir.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I constitute this assembly into a congregation of Makerere University.
Another round of applause for the Chancellor, please. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the nation of Uganda is a God-fearing nation, and this is clearly enshrined in our national motto, which says, "For God and my country." And so at this juncture, may I request Dr. Sowed Juma Mayanja, the Imam of Makerere University Mosque, to come and give us a word of prayer. Dr. Sowed.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Almighty God, we lift our hearts in gratitude for the 71st graduation of Makerere University. We are thankful for the leadership of this great institution whose legacy continues to shine brightly under their guidance. For the many who labor in and outside of the lecture room to create a conducive environment for research and learning and for holistic development of the minds, souls, and bodies of the students. This is a time to remember the ways you have shown your loving kindness and faithfulness over the years. We thank you for the graduands who are ready to take on the road before them. We are grateful for the parents, guardians, families, and friends who have provided various kinds of resources to bring them to this far. God of all hope, even as these, your people proceed into the next phase of life with all the uncertainties surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic that lie ahead, we trust you, our God, to be a solid rock and fortress for them. We place our hope in you alone, for you are the God of our destiny. Sovereign God, as we send out these your people, may a new breed of leadership and the dawn of a new era rise from these graduands. May they be men and women of integrity in all they do. Almighty God, we beseech you to let your peace prevail in our country and at this university. Amen. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والتابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين والحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Dr. Sowed Juma Mayanja, for having postured us before the Almighty God. Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor and pleasure to welcome the Vice Chancellor, Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, to come and address the congregation. Professor Barnabas Nawangwe.
the Chancellor of Makerere University, Professor Ezra Surma, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, President of the African Development Bank, the Chief of Defense Forces, General David Muhoozi, and your delegation, the Chairperson of Makerere University Council, Mrs. Lona Magara, the Vice Chairperson of Council, Right Honorable Dan Fred Kidega, the Chairperson of the Appointments Board, Mr. Kiwanuka Kiriowa, representatives of government ministries, departments, and agencies, members of Council of Makerere University, the Deputy Vice Chancellors and members of the University Management Team, Vice Chancellors, Rectors, and Principals of sister universities and institutions, the Commandant of the Senior Officers College, Kimaka, Lieutenant General Guti, members of the University Senate, members of staff of Makerere University, parents and guardians, graduands, the media fraternity, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the fifth and final session of the 71st graduation ceremony of Makerere University. In a very special way, I welcome Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, President of the African Development Bank Group, who will receive the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters of Makerere University. Makerere University is proud to honor you, Dr. Adesina, for your illustrious service to Africa. Makerere University has benefited from your visionary leadership at the African Development Bank through the bank's support to infrastructure development, graduate training, and research and innovation. The bank has tremendously contributed to our strategy to be a research-led university. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, for this 71st graduation ceremony, a total of 12,550 students will be awarded degrees and diplomas of Makerere University in various disciplines. Of these, a record 108 will receive PhDs. And of those 108, 38 graduates are female, representing 35% of the total. A total of 1,160 graduates will receive master's degrees, and of those, 434 are female, representing 37% of the total. Of all the 12,550 graduates, 51% are female and 49% are male. I'm happy to see that all our policies to promote access to higher education for the girl child and to end historical imbalances in education are bearing fruit, as Makerere University strives to remain a leader in gender mainstreaming on the African continent and globally. I applaud all members of staff who will be awarded PhDs and master's degrees in various disciplines. Your hard work is a demonstration of your determination to be part of our journey to becoming a research university. Congratulations. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the College of Engineering, Design, Art and Technology and the College of Humanities and Social Sciences have excelled in teaching and research during the last academic year. The College of Engineering, Design, Art and Technology produced several innovations, including innovations to help fight the spread of the coronavirus. The solar-powered hands-free hand-washing kit with provision for recycling water is a great innovation, which will be pertinent even beyond COVID-19, especially in health and education facilities, which use a lot of water, as well as in areas with acute scarcity of water. The World Bank African Center of Excellence in Materials, Product Development and Nanotechnology, MAPRO-NANO, in collaborations with colleagues from the College of Health Sciences, is researching on production of medicines from indigenous plants. On top of that, MAPRO-NANO has produced a diesel engine. You recall that the Kira EV electric car is also a product of this college. With the development of the diesel engine, the stage is set for production of all types of vehicles in Uganda. This is very exciting indeed. Furthermore, the college has started development of a COVID-19 diagnostic rapid test kit for detection of the coronavirus in saliva in partnership with the Makerere University College of Health Sciences and Uganda Virus Research Institute. It is expected that the rapid test kit will be cheap, safe, non-invasive, and with rapid turnaround time for detection of active COVID-19, including individual self-collection of the sample. This intervention is expected to minimize transmission risk faced by healthcare practitioners and offers effective diagnosis, efficient contact tracing, and community surveillance. These innovations will be commercialized through our new Intellectual Property Management Office and the Entrepreneurship Support Center, which we are working on. With these and many more innovations coming out of this and other colleges, the need to establish a science and technology business incubation center is very urgent. It is my conviction that the center will produce many spin-off companies and create employment for our youth. I believe universities have a critical role to play in efforts to avert a looming catastrophe as a result of our high population growth. The College of Humanities and Social Sciences has undergone a major transformation. With the 22 PhD graduates at this ceremony, the highest number from any college, the college is indeed celebrating a bumper harvest. The college is now one of the leading research units in the university. With support from the Research and Innovation Fund, researchers from the college have contributed to the fight against COVID-19. Researchers from the Department of African Languages, in collaboration with public health officials, translated COVID-19 sensitization messages into 6 major languages in Uganda, including Luganda, Runyankore Rukiga, Ateso, Luo, Lugobarati, and Kiswahili, including Braille from the visually impaired. And I hear they are working on the Samia version. Another team of researchers from Makerere, in partnership with the several institutions, transformed Ugandan folk tales into animated films for educational and leisure purposes. The Makerere Institute of Social Research is one of the 2 internationally recognized think tanks at Makerere. The Institute continues to produce critical researchers for Africa through its special PhD program. The college is also home to the first Rotary Peace Center on the African continent. And the first cohort of 20 peace scholars from 13 countries from all the 5 continents completed their on-site studies earlier this month. Peace is a necessary ingredient of development, and Makerere University is proud to be associated with Rotary in this noble cause. Through CHUS, Makerere University is proud to collaborate with our security forces in training highly qualified officers for the Uganda People's Defense Forces and for the Uganda Police. I thank the security forces for this collaboration and salute them for maintaining peace in our country and the region. I believe we have made tremendous progress in research over the past years, but we must do more. Africa currently accounts for only 2% of knowledge generation, while we contribute 20% of the population. Africa needs to produce hundreds of thousands of PhDs. Sadly, all our universities in Africa put together produce only 1,000 PhDs per year, while China, with the same population as Africa, produces more than 50,000 PhDs per year, 50 times more than Africa. At this rate, it is going to be very hard to transform our economies. Africa must strategize to produce at least 10,000 PhDs annually, and not 10,000 PhDs in 10 years, as a recent World Bank report suggests. That is why at Makerere, we have resolved to become research-led in order to produce more masters and PhDs for Africa. I thank the government and our development partners for the support we continue to receive on this journey. Due to the effects of COVID-19, we were unable to process transcripts for our graduates before the graduation ceremony. However, I am happy to inform all our graduates that we have now received all the materials required for the production of the transcripts, and they should be able to collect them within a couple of weeks. The academic registrar will announce the schedule for collection of the transcripts. Needless to say, the PhDs and the masters collect their certificates immediately. In October, we will launch the celebrations to mark 100 years of Makerere's excellent service to humanity. The year-long celebrations will be capped by the climax in October next year. Celebrations will be held in different parts of the country to pay tribute to all the people of Uganda who have helped build the university to its current prestigious position as one of the best universities in Africa and the world, as well as in other capitals and cities of the world, where our more than 300,000 living alumni live and work. Makerere currently hosts students from 38 African countries, making ours a truly Pan-African international university. I call upon all alumni and friends of Makerere to actively participate in these celebrations. Soon, we will launch the fundraising campaign to raise funds for the restoration of our iconic main administration building, the icon of higher education in the entire East and Central Africa region, which was destroyed by a fire in September last year. Our plan is to restore the building in time for celebration of 100 years in October next year. I call upon all our alumni and friends of Makerere to contribute generously when called upon. We must raise 15 billion Ugandan shillings, which is required to restore the building. Let me now turn to you, our dear graduates. I congratulate all of you and your parents, guardians, and sponsors upon this noble achievement. The time and resources you have invested have paid off, and that is the cause for our celebration today. Allow me to specifically thank our dear parents, guardians, sponsors, who have selflessly financed your studies to this level. They have sacrificed a lot to give you a good future and deserve to be appreciated. Please join me in expressing our gratitude for their enormous sacrifices. We have trained you to be critical thinkers, ready to face the job market, but also to be resilient entrepreneurs. Go out and create the jobs the country is yearning for. Those of you graduating with the PhDs are now certified researchers. You are now truly global citizens. You must help change the situation in Africa. The task ahead of you is enormous, but it is honorable. Go out there and make the difference Africa is yearning for. Love and respect your parents and fear God, so that doors will be opened for you. As you go through the gates of Makerere, hold your head high, but with humility, and always hold your alma mater in high esteem. And as our anthem goes, do not forget the gates of Makerere. I would like to thank all the members of staff who have made this a successful ceremony. I thank the professors and lecturers, the administrative and support staff, the ceremonies committee, the contracts committee, the secretary department, the estates department, the office of the academic registrar, the Department of Performing Arts and Film, the police band, NTV, UBC, and other media houses, and the photogenics, among others. I thank the chairperson, Mrs. Lona Magara, for attending this ceremony for all the 5 days. May I request you, Mrs. Lona Magara, to stand and wave to the congregation. I also thank the Commissioner for Higher Education, Mrs. Jolie Uzamkunda, who has also attended for all the 5 days, as well as members of council for staying with us through the 5 days. I wish to most sincerely thank you, Professor Surma, our Chancellor, for successfully presiding over the 71st graduation ceremony during the 5 days very efficiently. You have done a wonderful job. Finally, I thank and give praise to the good Lord who has enabled us to prepare and successfully conclude this ceremony. God gave us good weather throughout the ceremony, including a light rain when we were graduating students of the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. God was sending a message that with all this fertile land and all the rain I have given you, you have no reason not to succeed. Thank you all, and God bless you. It is now my honor and privilege to invite the Chancellor to address the congregation.
Thank you so much. Honorable ministers who are present, the President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, the Chief of Defense Forces and your delegation, the head of Chimaka Defense College and your delegation, honorable members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, your lordships, the judges of the judicature, religious leaders, the leadership of Kampala Capital City Authority, representatives of government ministries, departments and agencies, chancellors and former chancellors, chairperson of Makerere University Council, members of Makerere University Council, the Vice Chancellor, Makerere University, former Vice Chancellors, members of the University Management Team, former University Management staff, Vice Chancellors, Rectors, and principals of other universities and institutions, members of the University Senate, members of staff of Makerere University, parents and guardians, graduands, the media fraternity, distinguished visitors, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to this fifth and final day of Makerere University's 71st graduation ceremony. It gives me great joy to congratulate the graduands who have successfully endured to this day in spite of the severe pains and stresses of the past several years. I congratulate you. I also wish to extend strong gratitude to the parents and guardians who have had to meet what often looks like endless payments for tuition, functional fees, books, hostels, food, transport, and so on. You really deserve a break. And I'm happy for you that you are not only getting a break, but seeing what you paid for. For those parents and guardians whose investment has not yet brought results, please hang in there. A day is coming when the prodigal son will come to his senses and you'll see him or her coming home with that certificate. Hang in there and may the Lord hear your prayers. Allow me to use this opportunity to express our deep appreciation to the chairperson and members of the University Council, together with the Vice Chancellor and management, for their enormous efforts in guiding this important institution. Similarly, I thank all members of faculty and staff for your hard work and endurance in advancing the academic integrity and excellence of Makerere University. We cannot thank you enough for the many sacrifices you make to ensure excellence in teaching, in research, and maintaining discipline. In a special way, I wish to extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Adesina, the President of the African Development Bank, who has accepted our invitation and is here for the award of the Honorary Doctor of Letters. We thank Dr. Adesina for the excellent work he is doing to uplift the African people and for honoring us with his presence today. As African countries struggle to overcome the huge negative effects of COVID-19, I'm sure that they will find a vital and sympathetic ally in the African Development Bank. Thank you very much for being here. On this final day of our graduation ceremonies, we are awarding degrees and diplomas to students in the College of Engineering, Design, Art, and Technology, and the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. I wish to add my appreciation to these faculties, add my appreciation to that of the Vice Chancellor, to thank the faculty and staff of these colleges for the excellent work they have done to prepare the students who are graduating today. Thank you very much. I have looked at the topics of research, particularly in the humanities and social sciences. I'm truly impressed and encouraged by the relevance of their research topics. They are tackling some of the most pertinent issues that touch on the social, political, and economic welfare of our countries. I'm confident that their research will have a transformative impact on the future of our country and the entire African continent. During the past 4 days of graduation ceremonies, I have tried to encourage the graduands and others in the audience by citing our resilience as a people through the changing fortunes of our 60 years of independence. There are many of us who are witnesses, who have seen with our own eyes the hand of God leading us through the serious economic and political troubles in the past 6 decades. I've tried to assure the graduands that despite the difficult times we have been through and continue to go through, God's purpose for our lives has triumphed over evil and suffering. You can be sure that the testing you have been enduring ever since your primary school days, this persistent testing was to prepare you to overcome despite the toil and sweat and tears of this world. You now have a certificate that testifies to your perseverance, your persistence, and your resilience. In my 7 decades of wandering in many parts of this world, I've become increasingly convinced that there are 2 things that could never be taken away from me: my faith in God and my education. Let me tell you, I've been to places where I had left everything behind. I couldn't take anything with me. I found myself in strange lands. And as I said, all I had was my faith in God and my education, and sustained me, and is still sustaining me up to this day. Ever since 1962, when we became independent, Uganda has experienced significant political and economic shocks. We have seen constitutional upheavals, we have seen military coups, we have seen economic breakdown, we have seen civil wars, And now we are seeing a global pandemic that threatens life everywhere. These shocks affect us collectively as well as individually. But despite these trials, God has sustained us. I believe that God has used my time on earth to fulfill the purpose for which He created me. God has a purpose for your life, and the purpose will be fulfilled. No man and no circumstance can nullify the purpose of God for your life. So go home from here standing firm in this faith. Go home confident that the Lord will be small in size, but when it is taken where there is darkness, it brings amazing relief and hope. So do not underestimate the power you have to bring hope and joy wherever you find yourself, wherever God sends you. Together, our candles will grow into a powerful flame that will transform Uganda forever and indeed transform the whole entire African continent. So brothers and sisters, go from here with faith, go from here with hope, and go light your candle wherever you find yourself. In the words of Chris Rice, who wrote this song, he says, there is a candle in every soul. Some are brightly burning, but some are dark and cold. But there's a spirit who brings fire, ignites a candle, and makes his home. I hope he'll make his home in you. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, my friends, and go and light your world. I thank you for listening.
Let's applaud the Chancellor once again. Performing arts and film, giving us a tune. Thank you.
In every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings a fire and ignites a candle and makes it warm. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle.
In the crowd, if you know the words, please join the performing arts to sing those words.
Go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he tries to light his own candle some miles away. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, but still holds a candle
Thank you, Performing Arts and Film. Thank you so much. Yeah. Mr. Chancellor, sir, at this juncture, may I take the honor to request the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, to guide us in the next item on the Honorary Doctor of Letters Award ceremony. Professor Barnabas Nawangwe.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I now call upon Dr. Desina to step forward and Professor Vashasha, the orator, to come along with him, and request Professor Vashasha to present Dr. Desina for the conferment of the Honorary Doctor of Laws. Please come over here.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, often described as Africa's optimist in chief, African Development Bank President Dr. Akinwumi A. Adesina is widely lauded for his visionary leadership and passion for Africa's transformation. Formerly the Nigerian Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Adesina was first elected President of the African Development Bank on 28 May 2015. He was re-elected for a second 5-year term on 27 August 2020 with 100% of the votes of the bank shareholders, regionals and non-regionals. The first time in the history of the bank since 1964. Yes, Mr. Chancellor, sir, I think Obugaro is in order. Dr. Adesina graduated with a bachelor's degree in agricultural economics, first-class honors from the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, in Nigeria in 1981. He was the first student to obtain a first-class honors in agricultural economics in the history of the university. Dr. Adesina holds a master's degree obtained in 1985 and a PhD in agricultural economics obtained in 1988 from Purdue University in the United States of America, where he won the Outstanding PhD Thesis Award for that year. In 1988, Dr. Adesina won the prestigious Rockefeller Foundation Social Science Fellowship, which launched him into his international career. A prolific writer with over 75 academic publications, including having supervised 7 PhD students to completion, Dr. Adesina was the brain behind the Regional Collaborative Master's Program in Agricultural and Applied Economics, the development of rice value chains in West Africa, the African Fertilizer Summit in Abuja, I think it was the first, and the first ever electronic wallet scheme that facilitated delivery of subsidized farm inputs to farmers, among many other initiatives. Dr. Adesina is widely consulted by, among others, the World Bank, the United Nations, World Food Programme, FAO, UNDP, USAID, and many other development partners, especially those interested in the